In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died in the mountains of the Soviet Union. They cut their way out of their own tent from the inside and fled into a blizzard, barefoot in the middle of the night, straight into temperatures that would kill them. For 60 years, nobody could explain why. They were students mostly, from a university in the Urals, young, fit, and seriously experienced in winter mountaineering. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, and in early 1959, the group of 9 set out on a demanding ski trek through the northern Ural Mountains. These were not amateurs wandering into the wild. They knew what they were doing. They kept diaries and took photographs, and those records give us an eerily normal picture. A group of friends in good spirits doing something they loved. Then the record stops. When they failed to return, search parties went in. Weeks later, they found the tent, high on a bleak slope, half buried in snow. And immediately, something was wrong. The tent had been cut open from the inside, slashed, as if the occupants had torn their way out in desperate haste, rather than take the seconds to unfasten the entrance. Almost all of their gear was still inside. Their boots, their coats, their equipment. Whatever had happened, they had left everything behind and run into the night, in a blizzard, in lethal cold, many of them barefoot or in socks. Searchers followed the tracks downhill toward a tree line about 1 kilometer away. There, they found the first bodies near the remains of a small fire, dressed in almost nothing, clear victims of the cold. Others were found on the slope between the trees and the tent, as if they had been trying to climb back up. The remaining hikers weren't found until months later, buried under deep snow in a ravine. Several of them had suffered severe internal injuries, the kind associated with enormous force, though without corresponding wounds to the skin. It was these injuries that fed decades of speculation. The Soviet investigation closed with a famously vague conclusion that the hikers died from a compelling natural force they were unable to overcome. That non-answer let the theories bloom. People blamed secret military weapons tests, escaped prisoners, a local indigenous group, an accusation that was investigated and found baseless, and which unfairly stained innocent people. Others reached for the paranormal, aliens, or a yeti. The mystery became a magnet for anything anyone wanted to project onto it. But in recent years, researchers have built a compelling and far more mundane case. The leading modern explanation is a small, delayed slab avalanche. The hikers had cut into the slope to pitch their tent, weakening the snow above them. In the night, a slab of hard snow may have released, not a huge, roaring avalanche, but a heavy block sliding down onto the tent. That would explain the crushing internal injuries without visible external wounds. It would explain why they slashed their way out in panic. And it would explain why they fled to the tree line. Standard practice is to get clear of the danger zone, wait, and return. But in the dark and the killing cold, they never made it back. Scientists have since modeled this scenario and shown it's physically plausible. It's worth saying plainly, this isn't proven, and some questions remain. But it fits the evidence far better than aliens ever did, and there's something important in that. The Dyatlov Pass Incident became a monster story, but 9 real young people died on that mountain, and their families spent decades listening to strangers speculate about them. The likeliest truth isn't supernatural, it's just terrible. A group of skilled, careful people undone in seconds by the mountain itself. They cut their way out because they had to. They ran because it was the right call, and then the cold took them, one by one, as they tried to get back. No ghosts, no monsters, Just 9 people who made reasonable decisions in an impossible moment and never came home.